when I had no idea who they were. I'm just like, you guys good? Yeah, we're good. Okay, bye. Yeah. That was grim.
Welcome to episode 108 of the Drag Driver Pete Show, presented by Summit Racing. This show, we're just naming it the Mega Week Mega Show. Get comfy, because I'm hitting the ad page button.
Yeah, dude. So Pat, dude, screw you, all right, and your stupid Hayabusa, all right. And what are you? Are you Grom? Are you Gromming it this year? Okay, so it's you and me. I am sick and tired of you talking all that smack on social media because you beat me one time on a freaking dude. I was riding a Grom that I didn't even know that was GP shifted, by the way, which I forgot halfway down the racetrack. And then, I mean, whatever, dude. I mean, whatever. Pat Cook, dude, you're the jam. If you guys don't know, this is the dude that rides the Grom, and he's rode the Grom on Rocky Mountain Race Week. I'm kidding you not. We go 5 digits. We go over 10,000 feet of real life elevation. And he rode like a 17 horsepower bike at 10,000
like
feet.
8 horsepower.
Whatever. Yeah. With all of his crap live for a week on his back on that whole crap. And this dude's a living legend. I can't wait to talk to you, dude. Let's do it.
Yeah. Tell us who you are, man, where you're from, all the fun stuff.
I'm Pat Cook, the guy with the Grom. I'm from Harlingen, Texas. So go as far south as you think is South Texas, and I'm probably a little farther.
That's why you're a little red.
You certainly are.
You got some sun today.
Oh, yeah. It's summer, so it's like 90 to 100 every day already.
Right. And this dude has your kid's favorite job. He builds fire trucks. That's all this dude does. He builds fire trucks.
Cool.
Yeah, I get to go out to South Padre Island tomorrow, actually, to work on both of their trucks.
Nice.
Yeah, air conditioning work.
Just so everybody knows, this is what he rides. Like, what's the top speed on this Grom?
I've had it 83 on the Speedo.
Going
are you
through
bringing
Dallas
this one?
drafting traffic.
Are you bringing this one, or are you bringing the 250?
Yes,
both.
I'm bringing that one because you got to race it.
Okay,
you
so
got to kick
that's
Jason Hurley's butt.
That's the stock one. That's the one that I rode. He has a 250 swapped Grom that I have only seen in pictures and burnouts in the back of his truck. I think I've never seen this one actually compete yet.
That one.
Yes,
this one is so loud. It's going to be great.
How fast is this one?
I don't know. Fast enough to be sketchy.
Attaboy.
I think 83 is fast enough to be sketchy.
Yeah. I rode it to the zoo with some friends last weekend, and I kept up with traffic on the highway. I was doing 70, 75 the whole way.
Okay, that'll work.
But it only has a 1-gallon gas tank, so like 50 miles is about it.
Oh, man.
Can you strap a tank to your back and fill it while you're riding?
He's got to have clothes. How is he going to? You got to have, man's got to have drawers, my friend. And I'm Jason Hurley is in the comments. That dude has no idea. He's like, I raced bikes forever, blah, 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 blah. You never raced a Grom, my friend, and I got one up on you on that.
It's going to confuse him when second is down.
Oh, yeah. I am taking on Jason Hurley, and we are doing I'm going to call it out right now. We are going to do a charity bet, $100 to your favorite charity if you beat me, $100 to my favorite charity if I beat you.
Yes.
Heck yeah.
Done.
Yes, that's awesome.
And I think you've got an advantage.
$200 done. $200. I mean, Iraq and Afghanistan Veterans of America, just get it all in make a favorite and just put 200 in there. Because here's the thing. I'm a small guy. Typically with these little bitty bikes, I win, but Jason Hurley's Skeletor. He's tall, but he's also very skinny. He's basically a skeleton. You can you can see his ribs. He needs to eat more, for sure. Weight, I'm not sure what his wife's trying to feed him or nothing. But I don't know what I am today, but I am down to my fighting weight. I am 168.
Oh, wow. Yeah, damn.
So you better buy him some food before that race.
He's not gonna know about it, but I'm gonna be in there like putting a feeding tube into him. I know you're 185, but I've been racing bikes my whole life, and yeah, dude, I rode a Grom once in my whole life, but I did the biggest wheelie that Race Week has ever seen,
and the biggest one that bike's ever seen by far.
I'm just saying.
Awesome. Well, Pat, dude, tell us some stories, man, because you have some good ones. Drafting semis, driving 51 91 miles an hour for 3 hours at a time? Like, we want to hear.
Like by the first race week, I did 22 and 23. I've actually been to Kearney the first day of race week 2 years in a row because at 22 I made my hit and I'm like, well, I'm out of here. Nobody's gonna care about me anyway, and stay there. And then like going through the mountain, that trip in 2022, like I forget where we were. We passed Julesburg and there's that really straight stretch that's like prairie or whatever. Like I was lucky to hit 45 because the wind.
Wow.
That whole stretch through there was the worst experience I've had on a bike.
Wow.
And that being said, I've driven from Tulsa to my house straight through Hayabusa, like almost 14 hours. No, that was worse on the Grom that trip.
Man.
Weirdly, like I was the dummy that left the hotel at like 6:30 in the morning
because it goes 50.
Yeah, I stayed at Pinky's down by Pinky's hot rod shop, so I had to drive up through Estes Park and down, and I didn't have a jacket liner because it took up space.
So if you guys don't know, Estes Park is cold in the morning.
My hands were numb. I had to stop like 3 times.
Even June, it was probably high 30s.
Probably. That's what I didn't want to know, but I'm sure it was that cold. It's been rare I've been that cold on a bike before.
Got no desire to live that life.
Yeah. But coming downhill, the last stretch from Estes Park was fun because it was downhill enough that I could accelerate, beat traffic. Only time that whole trip.
Man, that's crazy.
Yeah. Like the first time I ever stopped on the road was that trip, and it was Rich Guido and Bill Armstrong on the side of the road when I had no idea who they were. I'm just like, you guys good? Yeah, we're good. Okay, bye. Yeah. That whole trip.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So why motorcycle? Why did you choose to do the Grom? Where did
originally it was supposed to be the 250 Grom.
He threatened the 250 his whole life. That's all he's ever done, and he's only brought the 50.
Yeah. Like it was I was signed up and registered to come in 2021, and the day I was getting ready to leave, it had a bunch of electrical issues and wouldn't even crank or fire, and I gave up because I'm like, there's no way I'm coming on something that doesn't even work.
Yeah.
And so I got it all working, and like 3 weeks before in 2022 it failed, and I'm like, screw this, I'm gonna go get a new bike. That Grom, like the stock one, had 180 miles on it when I showed up for race week.
Oh man.
I was like 3 trips to work on it, and then I did race week.
Wow.
Like did break-in oil changes and everything on the trip.
Man, that's so crazy.
It was Rocky Mountain.
Yeah, it was Rocky Mountain race.
It had 180 miles on it, and he was taking it to 5-digit elevations. He was riding it up like, dude. So in Colorado, they have 7 or 8% grades on a lot of the stuff that we're dealing with. So every 7 or 8 feet out you go up 1. It's steep as hell, and he's got that crap pin
25 or 30 mile an hour,
right? Like second gear. And again, you're thinking, you're a relatively normal size guy. You're probably 185 pounds or something like that. Less than that.
220.
Oh, all right. You're 220. You got a weak pose on your back as well. So riding this thing, you're probably 250, 260.
Oh yeah.
All said and done, and it's got
me and my gear is more than the bike.
And right. And you're at 10,000 freaking feet. It makes 8 horsepower at sea level. It makes 5.5 horsepower at 10,000 feet. You're a gangster.
Here at home, it'll maintain like 65. In the mountains, it's like 45 or 50.
It's a different thing, dude. So if you know fuel injection, 100 kPa is 1 atmosphere. It's whatever 16.7 psi or whatever. At 10,000 feet, it's 68. 68. So you floor your car, it has 68% throttle. You floor your 8 horsepower motorcycle, it has 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you spend in gas on that thing for a race week on average?
I've never paid attention. I haven't even paid attention when I've driven my truck. It does about 90-ish miles to the gallon.
Wow.
I always laugh when people say, yeah, Groms get like 140 to the gallon. I'm like, maybe if you let off the throttle once in a while.
If you throw it out of an airplane.
Yeah.
I was trying to look through your photos here and grab a shot. There was a shot, I remember. Yeah, here it is.
On top of that, Pat is an Army veteran, so salute to you, dude. Shout out to all those. You're the same dude as me. I don't want to really be called out for that necessarily, but people need to know that you're that dude. You signed that check at one point, and luckily it wasn't cash because here you are riding that bull crap in the mountain.
Oh yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, you're an animal.
Yeah, and that's
This
on
is
2.0.
50 cc's.
125.
Oh, it's sorry, 125. Right.
Yep.
Right.
And that one's a 250. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, and this is a mini bike just for scale.
The
so
pit
everybody
bike.
knows.
Right.
It's a micro mini bike. So it's tiny.
Right.
That's awesome.
But-
Yeah, you've had some adventures, dude. And then for the circuit, I know this isn't Mega Week related, but for the circuit, you bought a Busa and then rode it all the way to Missouri to start with us there. I mean, it was like 880 miles to ride in. Craziness. 1,800 miles in 4 days or something insane.
Between that and race week last year, I put on about 5,000 miles on that bike.
Man, that's so cool.
That's a lot.
Last year,
And
I drove to every event I did, which sounds like a lot, but one of them was in a stock F-150.
and y'all, if you've never ridden a Hayabusa, if you've never ridden a sport bike, it's a different thing. A Hayabusa is the king of the sport bikes. There's one motorcycle larger in the sport bike world, and that's it. This is the king, and it has been for years and years and years and years and years. It's a 1,300 cc sport bike that makes like 160 horsepower. At the tire, roughly, and it's 350 pounds plus its rider. Give or take, whatever. But this is a monster motorcycle, and all of your weight is on your hand when you ride this thing. It's like a cockpit, and you sit on it, but your back half turns the motorcycle. It doesn't actually. Your weight is on your hands, and any amount of time riding that crap is a really, really, really big chore. Yes, Jason Hurley's getting tips because now he knows that I've ridden sport bikes, but that ain't no shit.
And then to pull this trailer, that only helps the drivability of these things for sure.
Oh, it doesn't carry at allegedly like 95 mile an hour.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. I won't confirm that.
From what I in Mexico once.
Yeah, you're and you really do lead a lot of the motorcycle drag and drive stuff. You know what I mean? There's a page or a Facebook group. I mean, like there's a lot of conversation that
the
you
group
have.
is mostly, I think Dustin Moody started that, but I go in there and give him a hard time and try and keep conversation going.
Oh yeah, it's awesome, man. How crazy! Yeah, you're an animal. So what you're bringing the 250 Grom this time?
He says he's never gonna bring that.
It's the loudest. I can't imagine how loud that thing is.
He's never gonna bring that Grom.
It's bad. The exhaust is a foot long and completely open.
Oh man!
And there is no air filter, so it makes noise from both ends.
I've heard that before for some reason.
Nice. Well, how many race weeks have you done now? Like Rocky Mountain events?
Both in 22, both in 23, and I did 24 in the truck and the bike.
Wow.
Yeah, the truck was the one that was second in the Rowdy Radial shootout.
Rowdy Radial, dude, shootout. He beat like a 6.0 8 mile car
with my like 960 in the 8 mile truck.
F-150.
Nice. That's awesome.
Because all-wheel drive.
Any given Sunday, baby. You never know.
That's right. Yeah, sometimes you get all the traction, sometimes they don't.
You never know.
And I'm coming back to Rowdy Radial again this year.
No kidding.
130 tire on the Grom fits perfect.
Attaboy.
Those cars on those big 30 tires.
Plus, it probably won't run a quarter mile, to be honest.
I don't know that I want to go that fast.
That's smart.
Because it'll be 80 or 90 mile an hour, and maybe not.
That may be a little sketch.
Hell yes. I love that you're racing that in Rowdy. That's freaking great.
Yeah.
And if I get a good hit, it pulls the tire every time I shift to second gear.
Just like me.
Every time.
Yes.
You just can't launch the 250 full throttle because it will.
Like I did.
Tire to the moon.
No, not planning on that. Stevie was really, really worried about that. By the way.
You weren't going that fast.
She's never seen me do anything like that before. So
she's like, "What is he doing?"
Yeah. Why? Oh my God! He can wheelie a motorcycle. Who knew?
That's awesome. All right. Well, what else, man? Tell us one more story, and then we got to go.
So. Well, like the circuit, the Hayabusa was my first trip, and it took Jesse Fox kicking my butt to be able to get me to run 10.9s. And with it completely stock, like it does not like to launch. I came out to race week and ran like 10.59, 10.60, and then I literally just fixed the clutch. It has a slipper clutch in it that if you don't launch perfect, shakes the clutch, it just beats everything up, hammers it. So I've actually run a 10.1 with it, spinning the wheel, wheeling at my local track.
Perfect.
Let's go.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I told you, got 165 horsepower horsepower like stock.
Oh yeah.
It's running 142 mile an hour running 10 watts. Like
Yeah,
it's
dude,
got
it's-
a lot more in it.
This stuff,
That's
when you think about that, that's a hot rod, like a really, really fast Honda Civic.
Yeah. You
Yep.
say Honda Civic?
And then you take 1,000 of those pounds out of it.
Yeah.
That bike is a lot of fun.
Right.
They're amazing, and they're really pretty stable. The wheelie that bike is saying something.
Yeah.
Wheeling like a regular like GSX-R 1000 is that's what they're made to do. The Busa is not necessarily made to be in the air.
Right.
Yeah, but it is remarkably stable.
Yeah, they're
It's heavy.
built. I mean, they're like, dude, they're speed limited at 186 or something, right? Like something
Yeah.
crazy.
And
Have you seen
none of
that?
those been
Have
my
you done
first
that?
bike. Well, no, I haven't.
Okay, attaboy.
The fastest I've actually been is at the track.
Okay,
Wow,
you're
nice.
smarter than I am because I
Yeah,
went
no.
way
That being said,
faster on the street than I did on the track with mine.
I've hit like 130, 140 on the street so many times on other bikes that it's like, whatever.
Yeah.
Because my first 1000cc bike is RC51.
Okay.
1000cc.
It's a V-twin.
It revs to 10.5.
Yeah, tons of torque. That's a
Yeah.
sweet ass bike. The RC51. V-twin sport bikes. Big fan.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And I'm like a motorcycle guy in the way most guys are car guys because I had a bike that sat in my garage for like 4 years almost, so I sold it. And a week later, my brother found a CB350 4-cylinder,
Nice.
which is cool mostly because my dad had one, and which my brother has now, and he got fixed up running this winter. And so I have a matching bike to that. that my mom is meeting me with at race week.
Yeah, the great thing is like it's much easier to collect several motorcycles than it is to store cars. Yeah, the same number of
It
cars
is
to
nice to have
motorcycle
too many
ratio
cars,
is pretty good.
Right.
Yeah.
That is true. They
I've
take
got-
up way less space, and there's only
5
two of
bikes and
everything,
4
so
cars.
they're theoretically cheaper.
Yeah,
In theory, yeah.
In theory.
that's awesome. All right, sir. Well, I can't wait. We're gonna see you. We'll see you next week or this
Yep.
week. 2 days. When do you
Dude,
leave?
it's Friday. It's
Yeah, you're
freaking,
like-
it's in
yeah.
a couple of like everyone's moving on Friday. It's
I'm rolling out Friday as soon as I get out of work,
Yeah,
drive
wow.
till I can't stay awake anymore, and then do the same thing to get
and
there.
I
on
don't know
Saturday.
if you have a calendar in front of you, but dude, it's Wednesday.
Yeah, it's Wednesday at 9:03 Central. Like
8:03
they'll-
in God's time zone.
yeah, there'll be people in Tulsa this time 48 hours from now.
Before that, way before that.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, a lot of folks have been messaging about Fridays. Okay.
Yeah, when can I show up? There,
Yeah,
I mean,
Pat.
dudes have already left. The PNW dudes,
Oh, yeah.
Pacific Northwest dudes,
Yeah.
have already left. They're on their way.
Yeah, bring it on. I can't wait to see Donovan's car, all the
Dude.
upgrades.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
going to be big. Okay,
Oh.
Pat, thank you for hanging out backstage for so long.
You're the
man.
man.
Appreciate it.
Thank
Oh,
you.
no worries.
Yeah,
Always
we're
glad to be here.
running through. We're going to bring in Mr. Jack Crawford next. You know the deal. We can't do this without you guys, our race car friends. Really, I mean, you truly do make this happen. This is you're one of the reasons we do this every week, week in, week out. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you for being our race car friends. Hit the share button as you come in here to get as many comments and stories going on in the comment section in the chat over there for the folks that are watching live. For the folks that are watching later, hit the comment section down below. Tell us what you liked. Tell us stories you've got from Rocky Mountain Race Week history. 10 years, 3,000 plus racers have attended Rocky Mountain Race Week events. There's been more than 15 events total. 10 years of this, man. It's been absolutely crazy. And we can't do this without our sponsors, man. They make the world go round for us. I can't wait to hang out with the guys at Summit. They're bringing the Summit truck for Rocky Mountain Race Week Mega Week. Deechworks, Eric and I are stopping by that shop in Oklahoma City on our way down, and invite anybody else that wants to. We're going to do that. Molly Motorsports, who is going to be on site. So we're going to have Eric Grillo racing the Nova. It's going to be awesome. I don't know if they're going to have a tent set up or not, but I hope they do. Driven Racing Oil, another one of our sponsors, they're going to be there on site with Driven Racing Oil. So there's a lot of stuff that's happening here that Matt has done an incredible job of keeping up with. Whole vendor row and everything. They've got tires going to be there. Summit's going to be there with parts trucks. There's a transmission builder. There's quick performance rear end builder, like all this kind of stuff. Howard's Cams is a big supporter of ours. All your valve train stuff. J-Wire Solutions, WAF Racing, Performer Built Transmissions, Car Chains 3D, Power Tube TV, Sweet Patina, and Racing Junk Classifieds. Man, that list is getting long, and we love it. And we appreciate every one of those. And if you have the chance, spend money in those spots when you can.
Did you see